Good evening.
Recording
Welcome
in
to
progress.
the Oceanside Planning Commission for Monday, January 9th, 2023. If I could get everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Malik, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. City Planner, can you please do a roll call?
Certainly. Chairman Rosales,
Present.
Vice Chair Morrissey, Commissioner Balma, Commissioner Custer, Commissioner Dodds,
Here.
Commissioner Simons,
Here.
and Commissioner Malik.
Here.
Let the record show that 5 of the 7 commissioners are present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Commissioner Custer let me know that she would be absent this evening. Moving on, next item on the agenda is communications on matters not on tonight's agenda. So if anybody in the audience would like to come forward, again, this would be to speak to an issue not on tonight's agenda. Seeing no one come forward, then we'll go to approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was some time ago, November 21st, before Thanksgiving. So any discussion by commissioners? If not, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minute meetings.
Thank you, Vice Chair Morrissey made a motion. Second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Malik. Let's go ahead and vote.
Let the record show that the motion passes unanimously.
Terrific. Moving along, consent calendar and transportation items are 2 areas of the agenda. We have nothing listed for this evening, so we'll go to our single public hearing item, item 4, which is consideration of a recommendation for a conditional use permit and waiver of locational criteria for a massage establishment at 1727 Oceanside Boulevard. Applicant is Rinko Sato. All open disclosures. I know the location. I was on the commission, I believe, when there was a similar application, some time ago, 2010 or so, similar location. And again, familiar with the location and staff report. Vice Chair Morrissey?
Familiar with the site and read the staff report.
Thank you. Commissioner Dodds?
Staff report, familiar with the site, and I've actually went by the site today.
Terrific. Commissioner Malik?
Familiar with the report, read the report, familiar with the site, and visited the site.
Thank you. And Commissioner Simons?
Staff report.
Terrific. And our presentation this evening, Dane Thompson, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. My name is Dane Thompson with the Planning Division. I will be presenting item number 4 tonight, the Aloe Spa Massage Establishment Conditional Use Permit. The project is located within the Oceanside Town and Country Shopping Center, just south of Oceanside Boulevard, and just east of I-5. Aloe Spa would offer a range of therapeutic treatments such as Swedish massage, deep tissue, Thai stretch, and Tuina massage, as well as acupressure and foot reflexology. Massage establishments are considered to be regulated uses by the zoning ordinance, which require an approved CUP prior to operation. Tonight's vote is to make a recommendation to the City Council, which will ultimately make the final action on the use permit. The project site is an existing 1,000 square foot commercial suite, and the applicant is not proposing any major exterior alterations. The site was occupied by a massage establishment from '06 to '09 that was unrelated to this application. That site was awarded a business license without an approved CUP. After about 2 years of operating, the city realized its oversight and required them to get a CUP if they wanted to continue to operate. The Planning Commission requested approval of that use permit, which was ultimately denied by the City Council. The site has been vacant since, according to city records, which is about 13 years. The project has been reviewed and found to be in compliance with all relevant city codes and policies. The project was deemed consistent with the general plan as it's compatible with existing land uses. It complies with the zoning ordinance as commercial districts allow personal improvement services of this size. It's consistent with the municipal code, and required massage therapist certifications and licenses will be vetted by the Business License Division. With the conditions placed on the project, staff believes the CUP findings can be made and the project would not be detrimental to the public health or safety. All regulated uses are prescribed certain separations from sensitive uses, including churches, schools, parks, playgrounds, residential districts, and other regulated uses. This project is not meeting some of those requirements, so they are requesting a waiver. The City Council may grant such a waiver if the below listed findings are made that the proposed use will not be contrary to the public interest, will not impair nearby property, or encourage the development of an adult entertainment area. Again, tonight's vote is just to make a recommendation to the City Council. The project site is located within 500 feet of a childcare facility that's located in a separate building. The site is also within 500 feet of 2 residential districts, both of which do not offer direct access. The residential district to the south, the Fire Mountain community, is separated by a steep 100-foot or so incline, and the mobile home park to the west is separated by the 5 freeway. There's another massage establishment within the required 1,000 feet buffer. That business is operated on the other side of the 10-acre shopping center. There's also a smoke shop in the adjacent suite to the project site. Staff is not aware of any evidence that the 2 uses are incompatible. For these reasons, staff believes that the project meets all the findings shown previously and that a waiver of locational requirements is warranted. With that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission, by motion, confirm issuance of a Class 1 categorical exemption per SEQA Article 19 for existing facilities and adopt Planning Commission Resolution number 2023 P1 recommending City Council approval of conditional use permit CUP 2216 and a waiver of locational requirements for a proposed massage establishment to be operated at 1727 Oceanside Boulevard, Suite A. That concludes my presentation. The applicant's representative also has a presentation, and we both will be available for comments afterwards. Thank you.
Danny, before we go to the applicant's presentation, question for you. Does the record reflect why the City Council did not approve the CUP back in, what year was that, 2009, for the previous business?
Chairman Rosales, the City Council stated concerns with the family-oriented nature of the shopping center, mainly for the prior operator. There were also concerns with aesthetics, like, for instance, the previous operator would hang out their laundry on the fence behind the property.
Okay. The other question I had was the planning department's, I guess I'll call it metrics in evaluating an exception. So this one has issues related to the policy, locational issues, childcare and another massage. So when planning department has that situation, what metrics are used to kind of evaluate that this one should get the exemption to be able to operate? Is that established? Is there something like that? What process do you go through?
So there isn't defined metrics. It's taken on a case-by-case basis. The intent of Article 36 of the zoning ordinance is to largely prevent an overconcentration of regulated uses, like an adult entertainment area. Because there are a lot of regulated uses, a lot of them don't compound their effects. Like a smoke shop and a massage establishment would be different from 2 bars and a liquor store and a smoke shop right next to each other. So it's taken on a case-by-case basis. Staff roundtables it and determines if we believe that the waiver should be granted or not.
Okay. Any questions for Dane before we go to the applicant? Thank you, Dane. Applicant has the presentation if you'd like to come forward and present. If you could introduce yourself for the record, and if you need to bring the mic down to a little bit lower. There you go. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kichi, and this is my mother, Rinko.
Yeah, my name is Linko Sato.
And thank you guys for coming up here and listening to our presentation. This is our presentation. So therapist Rinko Sato, my mother, her background is she was recently, back when she was in 20s, she went through medical school, and she has always wanted to be a doctor. But then things kind of changed. She pivoted into more of a business back in Japan. Her family is from Japan. And she has licensed in massage therapist back in 2019 here in California. And then she also started a real estate business back in 2 or 3 years ago or so. And she also has an insurance license here in California as well. And where is it is located is like it is 1727 Oceanside, where Smoke Shop and Popeyes, McDonald's, that's where it is. And why Oceanside City needs our massage business here. The first one is massage benefits decrease anxiety, lower stress, stop insomnia. It's mainly to give community a peace, and it also decreases crime, increases city's income, and this is also a family business. So myself, I own a marketing business, and I'm also in an insurance business, and she does real estate and insurance and things like that. And probably the main purpose was to the benefit of anxiety, but the other purpose would be changing the massage reputation to more of a professional business to impact the city. We are very aware of the illegal activities that happens not just in Oceanside but here in the United States with massage. So our purpose is to do the right things for our community and the city, and impact the city in the best way possible. And she also Rinko owned a Blue Star Massage back in 2018 to 2019, 2020, for about 2 years or so back in Carlsbad. And I did all the marketing for her. and we were rated top 3 or top 4 in Carlsbad for massage, and that was about 2 years of doing the business. And our story, I would say that is probably one of the coolest story I could probably tell is that, so the reason that she quit, she ended up selling the business is because my father, her husband, he was diagnosed with kidney failure about 3 or 4 years ago. And he recently got transplanted, so thank to God, we were all good. But then the reason that she started massage is because he constantly needed a massage, my father. And in order for him to fall asleep, or he always had sleepless legs, I think is what it's called. So he couldn't fall asleep. And the only thing that helped him was her actually giving a massage, using her knowledge of being a doctor and things like that. And that's when we started to talk about, hey, like, is this a good business field to get in for her? Because she has always loved helping people, and obviously helping my father with his health condition. And that is when we decided to own a business in Carlsbad, and to own a business here in Oceanside now, since my father is a bit healthier now. He's still pretty unhealthy, but. So how we're going to help the city is we're going to have three treatment rooms, and also we're also going to have tools, Chinese herbal medicine pouch, cupping, and hot stone. And I would say we don't want to say that she will be better than other businesses, but I would say she may have more knowledge than other, just because her going through med school and trying to be a doctor, and just being around the medical field, I guess. And she is also planning to hire some certificate professional therapists, or will be on the same page, and then I will be doing the interviews and to make sure that there are the right therapists for us. So we also received the greeting notes and letters from other restaurants in the plaza. So I personally went to go talk to the employees at McDonald's, Popeyes, also Starbucks, and I'm actually really good friends now with the restaurants, the Mexican restaurants in the same plaza, and the owner at the UPS, or maybe he's a district manager, and also the owner and the employees at Smoke Depot. All of us they know me, I know them. I constantly go talk to all of them, so I would say we have their trust, and I guess it's now to gain trust from you guys would be our goal. So yeah, thank you guys. And any questions?
Thank you for your presentation. I don't see anybody queued up for questions, but if we have any, we'll call you back. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is a public hearing, so I don't see the chamber has anybody else present, but any slips?
Chairman Rosales, nope, we don't have any slips tonight.
Okay. Don't see anybody coming forward, so we will close the public hearing and bring it back to the commissioners for discussion or questions. Commissioner Morrissey, you look like you...
Yeah, if there's no discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we follow staff's recommendation and confirm issuance of a Class 1 categorical exemption per the California CEQA, Article 19, Section 15301B, existing facilities, and adopt Planning Commission Resolution Number 2023 P1, recommending City Council approval of a CUP 2216 and a waiver of locational requirement for a proposed massage establishment to be operated at 1727 Oceanside Boulevard, Suite A.
Thank you. Can I, before we ask for a second, ask for clarification, Sergio, the CUP number, starting with the 22, is that because it would have been issued last year or started last year as opposed to 23?
Chairman Rosales, that's correct. The application came in 22 calendar year. That's why it has a 2022 number.
Perfect. Thank you. So we have a motion, Vice Chair Morrissey. Second, anybody?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Malik. No further discussion. Let's go ahead and vote.
Chair Rosales, let the record show that the motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you. Congratulations and good luck. This still will need to go to City Council, right? Or we're just doing a recommendation?
That's correct.
Yeah.
This will go to City Council at a future date.
Great, thank you. All right, that concludes our public hearings for this evening. The only remaining items on the agenda are appeal of city planner's determination. We have nothing listed under that and nothing listed under discussion items. So we will go to the roundtable reports by commissioners and the city planner. I don't really have anything other than welcome back. Commissioners, hope everybody had a nice holiday. Looking forward to a busy 23. Vice Chair Morrissey?
Sure, all those things you just said, and no report.
Thank you. Commissioner Baumann and Custer are not here, so Commissioner Dodds?
Happy New Year and nothing to report.
Thank you. Commissioner Simons?
Nothing to report. Happy New Year.
Go ahead. And Commissioner Malik?
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Great. City Planner, we'll turn it over to you as you talk a little bit about what's coming up.
Certainly. Again, Chairman Rosales and members of the Planning Commission, Happy New Year, and welcome back after a month of break. We're a little over a month break from meetings. So upcoming to this body, we have on the meeting of the 23rd, another similar application. It's a conditional use permit to make a recommendation to City Council for a regulated use for a liquor store known as Everything Wine and Spirits located at 4161 Oceanside Boulevard. So similar to this application, the commission will be asked to make a recommendation on establishing a regulated use and a waiver of locational requirements. We don't have anything else scheduled beyond that at this time, but we'll keep you posted as soon as we do for Planning Commission. For upcoming City Council items that are related to Planning Commission actions, on this Wednesday, on January 11th, there will be an appeal of the Ocean Creek mixed-use development considered by the City Council. This body approved that project back in October of last year. There will also be a consideration of a zoning text amendment for the zoning ordinance cleanup items related to the inclusionary housing ordinance that was recently adopted by City Council. This body considered that back in November, and it's simply some cleanup items. We're removing a few provisions that are no longer applicable because kind of state density bonus law has taken a purview over a lot of those provisions. And finally, on the 11th, there will be consideration of the Herb Girl Cannabis Distribution Conditional Use Permit that this body made a recommendation on. I think it was also back in November. So those three items will be considered at this upcoming City Council meeting. And then moving out to the meeting of January 25th, the City Council will be asked to consider a project known as the Freeman Street Apartments located at 701, 713 Freeman Street. This body didn't consider that item because it's in the downtown district and it went to the Downtown Advisory Committee for a recommendation to City Council. But that project entails a 24-unit apartment complex on the vacant site, 1 block or half a block east of Coast Highway. It's 24 units. It does involve density bonus, so there's 20 base density units and 4 additional units in return for reserving, I believe, 4 units for lower income households. That's all I have to report today.
Great. A couple of questions. I remember in the past, this body would review and then approve a work plan of activities coming up through the calendar year. And I don't recall if it was at the start of the calendar year or some other point, but it seems like we haven't done something like that in a while.
Commissioner Rosales, you're correct. I don't believe this body has considered a work plan. Since my tenure as city planner, which will be a year in early February. So we will bring that to this body before the end of the fiscal year, I think is what the bylaws mandate, and get that work plan in front of you to show you what we have upcoming in the near future.
Great. The other comment I had is I remember in the past we would also be invited on occasion to participate in the early process of project development. Not everyone, but here and there, to weigh in, on different ideas from a developer coming forward with a project, be able to ask questions and so forth. And it struck me with the Ocean Breeze project that we had, that would have been probably a good candidate, and maybe COVID got in the way of that one, but it would have been probably a good candidate for us to maybe have been invited or considered to be part of that initial process, to be able to express what we thought of it early on as opposed to how we tackled it when it came forward. So I'll leave that thought with you, that if you see something that you think maybe we want to bring in a few commissioners to that process early on, I thought it was a good process to be part of on occasion.
Certainly. Just let me expand on that a little bit, Chair Rosales, for the newer planning commissioners. So typically, planning staff, we have two times where we typically ask the planning commission to weigh in early on projects. The one circumstances would be when we're proposing, an applicant's proposing perhaps a general plan amendment. Typically, it's a general plan amendment that goes from some revenue-producing land uses like industrial, commercial to residential. We bring it in for what we call a general plan amendment workshop. And then the other times we do, when we see a project might be a little controversial, we might ask members of the Planning Commission to form an ad hoc committee for a design review of a project. You're right, I think the Breeze could have benefited from an ad hoc committee input early on in the process. So we'll keep that in mind. We have a number of projects that we have on file right now that might benefit from the Planning Commission's input before it gets to a public hearing. So we'll certainly keep that in mind moving forward.
And I guess because we're seeing more density bonus type projects where we do feel like our hands are tied, if greater consideration could be given to those, to roll us into those, that would be great, because again, we feel like we're so boxed in, and if we can move it a little bit, here and there, or at least have some input, that would be great.
Sure. We certainly will look for opportunities for Planning Commission's early input on those types of projects.
Terrific. That's all I had for this evening. Thank you. We're adjourned.